Well, Rick, you're experiencing the simulator for the first time. What do you think?
It's kind of unbelievable. It's super cool, very realistic, and it's amazing. You know, you're trying to figure it out and look for where the keypad is, and as it's running through, and have you make phone calls and text, and you have dogs walking in front of you, people on bicycles, still following the signs of the road. It's not a racing game, and it is definitely beyond a challenge. It's the hardest video game I've ever played.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a great teaching tool, and I know you're aware in January of 2017, when kids go to the BMV, they're going to have to pass a simulator test. And you know, when I took driver's ed back in 1975, we had simulators. We don't have them today, but they're coming back. And I think it's important that we get these out and let parents bring their kids by, see what these are all about, and they're wonderful teaching tools, because you can you see firsthand that you can't drive a car with one hand, and there's so many things that happen here, and then the results are so quick. You hurt someone, you're going to be in court, or you're hopefully going to not be in the hospital, but that's the reality of this. Distracted driving is the #1 killer of our kids.
Yeah, as they say, it happens in the blink of an eye, and to sit down and try to simulate that experience, to be able to use the machine like this, which puts you in a safe environment. Obviously, I can't actually get hurt doing this. It is a great way to teach, because you're not out on the road teaching it. Obviously, you can't take real life scenario and say, hey, let's jump on the outer belt and go ahead and pick your phone up. I mean, obviously, there's enough people doing that out there. We don't need any more.
Obviously, there's laws on the books, and there's probably going to be more coming, but I don't think we can write our way out of this problem with tickets. Yeah. It's got to be an education thing, and we've got to start. We as parents need to do a better job, set a better example, but we are losing our youngest and our brightest, and through technology, I mean, the things are there, we might as well use them. And my goal is that every kid gets to experience this. Every parent should bring their kids around to see these things. And you know, our foundation's about 26 of them. We've got them around the state of Ohio, and my goal is to have one in every county. And you know, but in the meantime, if you don't have one in your area, you need to come here and see what it's all about.
Absolutely, and thank you for letting us be able to use this one for the month of June, so we can have it right here in the showroom, so that as we have, you know, maybe parents thinking about buying cars for their teens and is confident and, you know, that they want to act, put them down in the seat. Let them experience it firsthand before they hand them the keys to that first car, and let's get them started young right off the bat, making this a habit. Let's turn it into a positive habit rather than the negative one that's way too common today.
And the cool thing about this is all state of the art. It simulates distracted driving. It also simulates drunk driving, which in my opinion is obviously distracted driving. And then the other thing it does, it just allows you to practice driving. And we all need practice. You know, we all need it. And you know, when you put a 16-year-old kid in a car, you hope that they've been trained enough, but you don't want the first time that they see something adverse happen to them be on the road. And through simulators and through other training, hopefully we can minimize some of that risk. And you know, these are cool. They're great teaching things, and we want to thank you for being a partner with us and helping spread Maria's message. You know, as a parent, you never think that you're going to have to bury your child. And for my wife and I, it's been a nightmare. But our mission, and you know, I have a job at 10 TV. I love doing the sports, but you know, there's things that are bigger. And my mission now is trying to keep other parents from going through this. You know, I don't want to lose any more kids, but I don't want parents to go through this. And you know, our goal, you know, you don't realize, I guess, until you're a parent yourself, what it is to worry about a child. I know you've got two kids, and you worry sick about them. And when you were younger, you didn't even have a care in the world. But I don't know about you. I apologize to my parents for the way I acted when I was that age. You know.
I think I've had to apologize multiple times to my parents for some of the things I put them through growing up, and I really think you hit on a key that, yeah, the education and training of the young folks is critical, but even more important is that example that the adults set and the parents set on the road. Because a 16-year-old that gets in a car that decides to, you know, look at their phone and text or eat or make up or whatever they're doing, they learn that from watching someone else somewhere down the road. So, so for all of us to take notice and know that just because you're alone in a car, don't think that there's maybe somebody else on the road that's looking at you, and you're setting an example for everyone else around you. So for everyone else to understand, you got two hands, they both go on the wheel. It's just that easy. Keep your eyes on the road and keep passing that message. Thank you for what you're doing.
Well, thank you.
Proud to support it, yes.
And you know, you're in the car business. You want to sell cars, but you don't want to sell cars for the wrong reason. And you know, you don't want to see kids lose their lives in the cars you sell them. That's the last thing you want. Yeah. And you know, we want to make sure that everyone stays safe. And you know, no means I love you. That's what I tell kids today. If your parents say no, if they want to know where you're at, if they're asking you what you're up to, that means they love you. And so what we want is moms and dads, grandmas and grandpas, bring your kids out here, get on this simulator and see what can happen. And you know, somewhere along the line, driving a car went from getting from point A to point B to a place where we conduct business, to a place where we eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, to a place where we have a party. Just drive the car, and the goal should be to get there safely. This simulator will be here at the Ricart Mega Mall for the whole month of June. And if you want to learn more about defensive driving, distracted driving, a couple websites to tell you about mariasmessage.com. And then for more about the simulators, you can check us out at the MariaTiberriFoundation.org. And once again, thank you so much, Rick.